Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Do We Know Them, episode 249. And I know that we've been saying that there's nothing for 250, but it appears I've lied because we've got some stuff now.
Well, you're teasing it now, but we are going to be debuting our surprise until 250. So
yeah,
next
it's all
episode.
thanks to our friends Chelsea and Sherilyn at Here for the I always want to say Do We Know Them at the Here for the Clout podcast. They want to celebrate us more than we want to celebrate us, and I love that for us.
Usual.
But also we just we have no time to even think, and then they kind of slayed the house boots down with their little surprise. So anyway, there's stuff coming.
Yeah, so they asked us a while ago when we would be filming our 250th episode.
Yeah.
So we knew they were going to do something, but when I tell you this was not what I expected.
No, it's not at all. What we do have for our 250th episode has inspired me to make it a thing. You know what I mean? We should celebrate it. It is insane that we've literally, our third birthday is on July 10th. Okay. So things are happening and we've been doing this for a while.
I was hoping that we were going to hit 150,000 subscribers sometime soon. But that's been a slow
even
burn.
close.
The only reason I wanted that is because I wanted to get us another little plaque.
Oh, yeah. If you guys don't know, Lily got us a little plaque for, what was it?
50. Because that was a slow burn as well.
Right. Yeah. But you know what? It's just amazing that we've been doing this for so long and I'm excited to celebrate it. Also, there's a lot of things going on. I'm also dressed as if I'm going to go do makeup. You know, when you a makeup artist only wear all black?
Black, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm, for some reason, I don't know how that ended up happening. Also, guys, I'm doing Pilates, and also Lily has a new mic.
Oh my God.
Anything else
guys,
on the roster?
I've been on the verge of tears for the last 2-3 hours.
I thought you died. I thought you collapsed and died for the last hour. We
Honestly,
were supposed to film 2 hours ago. I was like, Lily,
I know.
Are you alive?
I went to set up the mic and I was got it out, plugged it in, everything was good, except my other mic was hooked onto my boom stand and it literally, oh my God, I couldn't find my pliers.
How hard did you tie that thing in?
Because I have two mics, because I have one at my desk too, and they're both like that. I couldn't get either of them off.
Oh, maybe you're just really strong. And when you installed it, it was really intense.
Only really strong though for the first half, because then it's if I need to unscrew it, not strong enough. I have a lot of extra nuts and bolts and things that are just
good
from
to have
various
extra
things.
nuts on hand.
You know, honestly, it does come in handy, but so I kind of jerry-rigged whatever is going on now, so hopefully it stays.
Love that for you. But if you guys don't realize, Lily has the matching mic to what I have right now. Thank you so much to Rode for sending these Procasters over. It's actually Rob over at Mackie who sent us our mixer, all of the cool shit that we have, this mic arm, everything. He sent us that, but then he was like, if you need anything
Mackie
from Rode, let me know.
They're the same company.
They're sister companies. Yeah. So he's like, if you need something from Rode, I was like, well, I mean, I kind of hate my mic because I just feel like it didn't sound crisp. You know what I mean? I wanted to sound crispy.
And then I think it's because we got these things instead of the...
So this is separate. We got this from Etsy and it's actually 3D printed pop filters, but I really like it because when the foam thing goes over the whole mic, I feel like it muffles you. You kind of sound like you're in a sock, you know?
Hopefully it sounds good. If it doesn't, it's not the mic's fault, it's ours, because turns out there's a lot of audio settings that you can
and
mess
why?
with, and we're just really, but we don't understand.
Dude, I know that I'm not horrible at tech because I have friends that are really bad with tech stuff and they ask me questions. But audio's crazy.
So in its own world. I feel it has nothing to do with any other kind of tech.
Yeah, no, I feel like audio is so finicky too because there's things that it'll be the same setting a different day and all of a sudden shit just hit the fan and you're like, okay, well, fuck me, I guess.
Yeah, I think I'm just cursed. But anyway, hopefully it sounds good. If not, don't tell us. I'll fix it. We know. We can hear it too.
I know. We have to listen to this for hours. You guys watched the episode once. I at least watch it 3 times. No, at least twice, if not 3 times.
I have a general rule of thumb. If it's not something we can fix, if it's already uploaded, I'd rather not know because we either already know or I'm just going to then feel bad about it.
Well, we do want to get started, but I don't want to just glaze past the fact that I do Pilates now. You know, I would like to linger on that.
That was
for a
one
bit,
of the most shocking revelations you have presented me with.
Oh, wait, why? I'm such a Sasquatch, right? I'm not active at all. And so people are very
Pilates.
surprised.
Pilates is really hard.
Yeah. Well, I'm only on level 1, girl. I mean, come on. It's me and a bunch of 70-year-old women in my town, which I love. And I think they're all so slay and they're way better than me. But yeah, no, I'm not saying that hard.
When I was at the bachelorette party over the weekend, my flight home, I was sat next to a guy that like apparently used to play professional hockey.
Yeah, he was like a really hot lawyer that Lily didn't get his number, and I'm annoyed. But anyway.
Or his name.
Yeah, literally, what the fuck were you doing that whole flight? Just yapping?
Yeah. Literally. No, I'm like probably only like half of the flight, but told him all about Janet. It was very entertaining.
We need to work on your game, girl. You cannot be introducing Janet on a flight. She needs to be last.
He asked. He was like, okay, no, I'm going to need to hear about this. It's like, oh. And then it turned out he was a lawyer and that's why he was interested. The reason I bring it up is because he said at one point that he had never been so humbled as he was when he went to a Pilates class. And I was like, yeah, Pilates is really fucking hard.
Yeah, motherfucker probably showed up to a cardio sculpt class level 2 or some shit. But you don't just do that, okay?
He's like, that was like when I was playing hockey and I was in really good shape.
It is different.
It was like really hard. And I was like, yeah, it's because it's totally different muscles.
It's totally different muscles and it's so focused on like consciously using your muscles and not like straining your joints, and like your posture needs to be good. And those are all things I need like severe help with because I don't stretch, I don't move. Alex was shook the other day when I told him I don't go outside every day. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I don't go outside every day.
That is pretty wild.
Is it? Okay.
I go on multiple walks a day, so.
Oh, yeah, that's true. No, I go outside to like grab a package or something. But like if both the kids are in school, then yes, I am leaving every day to like at least pick up one kid from school. If one of them is home from summer, girl, I'm not leaving.
But even that, like you're just like transitionally going outside. You're not just like ever going outside.
Oh, no, just to go outside?
To be outside.
Oh, no. Yeah. No, why would I do that?
See, it's very nice. It turns out the sun is good for you.
I've heard that. And you know what? I think it's a conspiracy. No, honestly, I have felt so much. It's literally only been 2 classes. I'm like, I feel so much better. But I do just literally moving and like going somewhere for 50 minutes. It's amazing.
Oh, it makes a huge difference. Yeah. No, I've been wanting to do Pilates for a while because I know it is really good for your posture and your spine and everything.
And it's low impact. My favorite part.
Yeah. And I'm too embarrassed to go to a group class. So I was thinking of doing privates.
Girl, do not be. I'm telling you. The people that go to Pilates, other than that one bitch that went viral on TikTok for saying that like people over 200 pounds don't belong in Pilates, but like the majority of people there are like looking for that low impact workout. It's super, like I did not feel judged at all. Everyone's just trying to like vibe, figure it out. I think it's great.
I've done it a couple times, but it's not even like, oh, that was hard. It's like, I physically cannot do it.
Oh, you need to come over to my thing. I think my class is easier than, because Alex said the same thing. He's like, Pilates is so hard. I'm like, am I just going to an easy, like, it's not
like,
that
they'd be
hard.
Like, okay, like lean forward and like you like slide forward. I'm like, oh no, I can't.
Oh, you know what? I think as inactive as I am, I do have like decent posture. So I think that makes it a little easier. I don't have a lot of strength.
Yeah, I think my body like executes the wrong muscles.
Yeah. Oh, and that could make it really hard and then start straining you. Yeah. My instructor, Dina, she would never allow that. No, she's a tough cookie. She's like, we need to protect our joints or else we're not gonna be able to walk when we're 60. And I'm like, period, Dina. Anyway, we do have an episode for you today. So we
were trying to get through quickly too.
Of course we wouldn't. Why would we ever do that?
But we have exciting news. I found a CakeGate.
Oh, yeah. Why did you typed CakeGate 3.0, 4.0?
Question mark. I couldn't remember which.
I think we're on 3. Anybody?
I think
Does
so
anyone
too.
remember?
I know,
well, I'm so excited. I love shitty
and
cakes. It's my favorite thing. Is this a shitty cake or like a drama?
Yes. So it's a shitty cake and we don't have a response from the bakery, but I was dying because I was like, I got the like parts from the customer that were complaining. And then I was like, I guess I should take a look at like the website and stuff. And then I found some stuff that it was really entertaining.
I'm excited. Lily told me not to look at the doc.
I was excited to share.
She ordered me, so I'm excited.
So should we start with that and then we go into Catherine?
Yeah, so I think depending on how long we take on CakeGate, we can see how long we want to linger on the Ace family update, because if you guys don't know, Catherine went on Call Her Daddy and there's a lot to discuss there. But also I feel like the same things that we've kind of been discussing, so I don't know how much there is to talk about.
While I was on my walk earlier, I listened to the whole thing and it wasn't particularly revolutionary.
Yeah, I know that Austin has responded, and then I also know that Catherine went on some interesting ayahuasca, just like talking about it. She talks about peeing herself. It's a whole thing. It's interesting.
Well, first, CakeGate.
Okay, boom. So here we go, part 1. This is 10 minutes. I hope that it's going to go way faster than this.
It's not really.
So, boom, behind me, this is what we ended up with. These are 2 cakes from Costco. They did a fantastic fucking job considering that they had 30 minutes. And I had to call, and I live 30 minutes from there. So, whole process, ordeal took about an hour out of my day. So, I had to go and set up, I paid about $4,000 to have a catered event for my son's graduation.
Jesus.
Blah, blah, blah. Hold on. Let me show you the email I sent to the small business in my area of the cake that I wanted. Right here. I would like something similar to this. Spring Mill High School Cardinals. No flowers. Full sheet serving. Minimum of 60 folks. The colors are navy blue and bright red. Maybe a diploma or a graduation cap on it. LOL. You know, basically your cakes are beautiful. Use your creative intuitions, right? So this is the cake. Beautiful banner, beautiful lines, very professional.
Oh God.
Mind you, cake was $200. Let me show you what I got.
Expensive cake.
So before I show you this cake, I need you to understand that this is a professional bakery. This is a $200 cake. And this looks like my second grader made it.
Shut
So
the
there we
fuck
go.
Want to pause and investigate a little bit?
Oh, you know I love that shit.
She did say no flowers, so they were like, no flowers, got it. Balloons. Birthday balloons, one might say.
So, okay, we got to turn this first of all because it's vertical, and I feel like to really appreciate it, you need to turn it.
I have it in the doc if you want to look there. But I did see on their Instagram that they do have a similar looking cake that they're advertising for birthdays. And honestly, that one even looks better.
It does look no, it doesn't. Look at the fucking balloons, and then the string is just like slapped on there. It looks like those like you know those like sticky hands that you just slap on things. That's what those strings are getting.
Someone said it looked like they're like colored sperm.
Okay. It actually does a little bit. Yeah, so I have, oh my God, a myriad of issues with this. My question is first and foremost, what did this woman see that she said, all of your cakes are great, like anything would be like very slay?
She shows later, but I
need to see receipts.
That maybe she should have done some more research because I found some examples that would have been red flags to me.
Yeah, so there's obviously this cake is horrendous. It's giving, I made it. It's lumpy, it's bumpy. The balloons are very random. The colors don't coordinate with the logo.
What is the banner thing even doing?
The banner is crooked and jagged.
Yeah, I was like, there's like chunks out of it.
Yeah, and then also, is the actual school logo even edible paper?
No, it is not.
Oh wait, shut the fuck up. Because it looks like a printout in my house. Like, that's why I'm asking.
It looks like a piece of paper for sure. No, she specifies later in the video, it's not edible.
That's criminal.
Not edible and not centered.
And not cute at all.
And even like the balloons like on top of the banner part, like
Lily,
it's just what the fuck were you doing?
I could do a think piece on how horrible this is. The fucking text on the banner is not even centered. I mean, it is just the banner itself or like the logo is not centered. Nothing makes sense. This is awful. I would be so furious. We don't need the bakery's response to know that they are criminals and they need to be under arrest immediately.
Even the sprinkle placement, they're not very equally dispersed.
No. And the sprinkles, it's like, did you only have the sprinkles left over from Memorial Weekend? Yeah, like what the fuck is that?
I got it. I grabbed it. I looked at it while I was in the bakery. I brought it out to my car. And then as soon as I got in my car, I was fucking crying. Like I was instantly sobbing. And I'm like,
I get you, queen.
I need a cake. Like that's all I could think of is this event is in 3 hours. I need a full fucking sheet cake. I ordered this a month in advance. And this is what they gave me. All of these balloons that look like a 2-year-old made them. Some uneven. What in the what? This isn't even his school colors. In real life, it looked fucking gray and grayish green.
It's giving the printer ran out of ink. Like actually. Oh my God.
It is.
So anyways, went in, spoke to the lady, brought the cake back inside because I was sobbing. I called my husband. I'm like, I don't know what to do. He's like, honey, bring the cake inside. Bring the cake inside. We will figure it out, you know, bring the cake back, give the cake back to them. I didn't even pull out of the parking lot. It was literally parked right in front of the bakery. So I brought the cake back in. The lady was like, let me go get the manager. The manager comes out and she's like, what's wrong?
She clarifies later,
like,
the owner came out.
This is not really what I asked for. You know, I asked for like a graduation cap, you know, didn't want any flowers or anything. Like, okay. This is not his school colors at all, you know, and she was like, our people called you on Wednesday and confirmed your design. Okay, that's fine. But even if this was the full design. Like the colors aren't right. The banner is incorrect. It looks like, look at that. Like the cake's not even
You don't need to
smooth.
explain it, Queen.
Like nothing about this is giving professional. And I didn't want to be combative. Like and let me also say this. I was in a very country town and I'm not really, anywho. So I didn't want to be combative. I'm like, listen, this is just not what I wanted. This is not what I ordered. And she's like, well, we can't read your mind. So then I had to breathe. I had to take in a deep breath. Because read my mind, bitch. Hold on. Let's go back to this email where it says navy blue and bright red and a diploma and, graduation theme shit. On no place in here is it talking about fucking confetti, like sprinkles and a fucked up ribbon and some writing that looks like a kindergartner did it, and then a printout that you can't even, it's not even edible.
I'm so dead.
And that's fine because I do know that some cakes have that, but it's not even the right colors. And when they called me on Wednesday, they said something about some high quality printing, blah, blah. So I okayed that. That is not high quality printing. It's not even the exact colors. So anyways, sometimes you just have to pray.
Okay.
Tell people to have a great day, which is what I did. And I said, you know what? You keep this cake. You go ahead and keep this cake. And you have a great day. And thanks for trying. And I walked out and I left.
Thanks for trying.
Wait, after having paid? Would have at least
So here's the thing. She clarifies later, but she is someone that likes to just like get payments over with. So she actually prepaid
I get
for the whole cake.
But that's insane.
Yeah. So she didn't pay once she got the cake. She had already paid, but she has now since canceled it through her bank and is waiting for the refund.
Okay. Because I was about to have, like, I get that moment where you just want to be done with the thing. And I've done that so many times. But then also it's like, no, they can't get away with this. Like, it just seems criminal.
$200 for a cake is
very standard.
A lot of money.
No, that's standard. Standard for a cake, yes.
I mean, not for that cake.
To feed 60 people with a cake, yeah. Super standard.
Yeah, I suppose that is 60 people's a lot. There are other prices for like their round normal cakes range from like 45 to like 60.
Right. Yeah, that makes more sense. Like if you're getting a little cake that's going to feed a few people, but there's even local bakers in my area that for a small cake that feeds like 30 people, they'll charge $200. It depends on the design you want. And like,
yeah, I was going to say, well, if they're intricately designed and look really good, then yeah, sure. This, not so much.
Right.
Before we go any further, we have a word from our sponsor, Storyworth.
This may very well be the first sponsor that has ever made me want to cry because, oh my God, is this the most beautiful concept ever? And it works perfectly for my dad. So if you guys are looking for a really, really good and very special Father's Day gift, look no further because Storyworth emails your loved one every week with a memory-provoking question that you get to help pick. Questions like, did you ever get in trouble in school? Or like, how did you decide how many children to have, etc.?
Yeah, it's basically those questions that like you don't necessarily think to actively ask, and they can either reply to the email with their answers or they can even record it over the phone for Storyworth to transcribe if they aren't big typers.
Yeah, I've seen a few services like this, but I've never seen one that does it over email or transcribes it because I've seen like books that someone could write in and I was like, oh, but my dad doesn't like to do that. You know what I mean? So this is super special because they're going to send them these prompts over the course of a year. And then after that year is up, Storyworth compiles all of it, including photos, into a beautiful hardcover book that you'll be able to share for the rest of your life.
And this is great because you get them along the way. So it's like you don't have to wait for them to be done if it takes a while. And then also you still get the book at the end.
So if you guys want to give your father a unique, heartfelt gift for Father's Day, you can save $10 off during their Father's Day sale when you go to storyworth.com/DWKT.
Again, that's storyworth.com/DWKT and you get $10 off your order.
And thank you so much to Storyworth for being an amazing sponsor of this podcast and giving me a great idea for Father's Day. I just ordered 6 Dubai chocolate cookies. Okay. I would say they're yay big. They're pretty big.
Why do I keep hearing about Dubai chocolate?
Oh my God, it's so fucking good. It's like sliced, like julienne almost, like puff pastry that's like toasted. I don't know if it's puff pastry. It's called kunafe or something. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry for the disrespect. It's like toasted. So it gives this like crunch to it. Then this pistachio cream thing. Then this chocolate. It is the most insane mixture. So then they put it in everything. They do like cookies with it, whatever. I just ordered 6 cookies from a local baker and 2 chocolate bars and I paid $70 for it. And do I regret it? Absolutely fucking not. Because let me tell you something.
If it tastes good or it looks good, then I think it's fine.
It's the best. But like I'm telling you, like made treats that are, specified or like they're special or whatever. Yeah, they do be costing a lot of money. This, I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think Costco charged it that much.
Better about me because I'm not the one that's screaming. I'm not the one I'm not causing a whole scene. And I called my bank. Services not rendered. Very simple. So we are getting a charge back, and I'm sorry, but as a small business,
don't be sorry.
You should have even offered a refund. You could have kept the deposit, but you should have offered me a refund for a over $200 cake that I needed that day.
Yep.
That you put in a month ago.
And I don't know. Let's go back. So can you guys honestly tell me that? Let me know if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But let me know if you would have paid $200.
Yeah.
A little over $200 for this cake. Please let me know. Please let me know if you would have paid over $200 for this full fucking sheet cake to serve 60 plus people at a professional event. Like it's a really nice event, and I'm bringing this in there. What? Nah. Not no $4,000 or $5,000. No, I put way too.
The top comment says, "Read my mind. How about read my email?" And like literally, it is insane the difference between what she wrote in the email versus what she got. Where'd they get it from? They just pulled it straight out of their ass.
Yeah, it's like they forgot, and we're like, "Oh shit! Grab that birthday cake and let's slap a."
Dude, no, it actually does seem like I know that does happen in bakeries, restaurants, any sort of food service industry. Like it does happen. So what's next? Part 2.
The next 2 are just like her answering some questions that people had in the comments.
So I want to go back, part two. I wanted to go back because Wednesday they called me and they were like, "Hey, do you want any other balloons besides the brown ones?" Skirt. What do you mean brown balloons? Where did that come from? Oh,
besides the
picture you sent us. So fast forward when I get there and the lady's telling me that she can't read my mind and blase. How about the lady that took the order on the phone that was super nice? She wasn't in there and she was on vacation, so nobody had any idea. So this cake right here, which these are not the people, by the way. This is not the people that I ordered the cake from. These people make freaking awesome cakes, and she said that she was booked, so she couldn't do it. But anyways, they made this cake! They made this cake! And we're using like brown, and really I believe this logo is burgundy, so either way they had it wrong. It was wild. Just absolutely wild.
Wait. So they looked at that picture and said, "Do you want any balloons besides the brown ones?" Because they saw that picture?
I suppose, but
did they think the flowers were balloons?
That was your inspo and that was the result?
No, but I'm just confused where they got balloons from. There's no balloons on there.
I don't know.
I think they think the flowers are balloons. I'm concerned. What is happening?
Okay, so I just made part 3 and I had to delete it. I had to come back on here. So biggest thing is part 3. Of the cake disaster. Biggest thing is, I'm going to tell you who they are. Do not contact them because I'm still in dispute with my bank. Please don't contact them.
Also, do not contact them from here either.
Right. Yeah.
We don't want any bad reviews sent. This is
we can all just point and laugh from afar.
Exactly.
And have a good
we just want to have fun. Don't ruin it.
I died laughing when someone commented that the balloons on the cake look like a bunch of colorful sperm. I died. Everybody keeps saying that it looks like grocery store cakes, and I have never seen a grocery store cake look that bad.
No, honestly, that's true. Touché. But I think they mean more so like the sheet cake style and just like the basic, like it does look like a cake that was ready-made.
The lack of customization.
Yes, yeah. And that's what's really cheap about bakery cakes in a grocery store is that they are like ready made and like you can maybe put a name on there, but that's about it. And that's what it seems like that was, even though she ordered a month in advance, you said, like it should not have looked like that.
And they had clarified, like they had another phone call and there was follow-ups.
Never, unless someone is like junior apprentice or whatever. Like I've just never have seen that. The other thing is, I misspoke in my first video and said the manager came out. It was the actual owner. What pissed me off about that is that she was trying to say that they didn't have the design that I wanted when the email was actually right there in her hand, and I had to point it out to her. It's right there. You had a roadmap. Aside from that, everybody's like, I wouldn't have paid the $200. I'm the type of person that likes to pay for everything up front. Like I want to pay for it, get it done with, get it over with. So when the time comes, it's already paid for. I don't have to figure it out. It's already done. I'm just going to pick up the cake and going. So that's how they ended up with my $200 instead of the $50 deposit that they only required. So in my opinion, they should have gave me back my money all except for the deposit. So I'm getting ready to show you some cakes that they make, and somebody else commented, I need to see their work because how the hell did you choose this bakery? I'll show you.
Okay, that would not have compelled me whatsoever.
Get ready. She shows good options. I'm telling you, I found some that I'm like, oh.
Oh, I mean, listen, this is not an ugly cake, but this very much is giving like bakery regular cake. You know what I mean?
It's also giving, did someone hit it on the side? Do I see?
Oh, there's the schmutz.
There's a bit of a smudge. Yeah.
Cakes. They're cupcakes.
Okay. It's like, okay, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's not amazing.
Like their piping
There's a lot
work
of green
is fine.
on some of those.
Their custom like designs are not great.
Yeah.
I would say the overall cake and like that buttercream icing, like smoothing that and stuff, sure, fine.
It's giving like anything that required like hand drawing.
It's an issue.
Not really their thing.
And another one of their cakes. Okay, so very last thing is Wednesday when they called me, they were calling me because they wanted to know if I wanted more than just brown balloons. I said this in my second video. So what they ended up doing was making the inspiration picture that I showed you in my first video. They made that inspiration picture. That picture came from Cake Hatara or whatever. Love those people. Anyways, even that was burgundy. So we had a whole debacle on Wednesday that I ended up straightening out, I thought, by the end of the phone call for them to make the correct cake. They did not make the correct cake, obviously. And so if you want to see what they made, please go to my first video.
I don't want to see it again, to be honest. It's quite traumatizing. Okay, Lily, what did you find?
Okay, so first I go to the bakery website. Please read the passage underneath. This is on the cakes page.
It did catch my eye when I opened the doc. It says, "Our cakes. This is your about page. It's a great opportunity to give a full background on who you are, what you do, and what your website has to offer. Double click on the text box to start editing your content and make sure to add all of the relevant details you want to share with site visitors." Methinks they forgot to edit that.
Me agrees.
That's embarrassing.
I wasn't really looking, like I wasn't trying to, I was just looking for pictures of cakes. Then I saw the double click the text box, like that part caught my eye. And I was like, what? Like thinking, like, do you mean to order them? No, they didn't edit the template of the website thing,
I don't know how this happens.
The website was not giving designed.
Yeah,
it was giving not even Canva. Like it was
I don't know why I have a website to begin with then. Like if you're not going to customize it. An About Me section is such a basic part of a website that I can't imagine someone glossing over that. It kind of reminds me of the level of laziness we just covered on our Patreon, like the AI.
I was just thinking that.
Using authors that like forgot to remove the prompts from their books where it was like, certainly, let me help you with this passage. And it's that level of laziness where it's like, you said, fuck it. Like, whatever it is, out into the world you go.
But so then I clicked on the cupcakes and cookies page. I noticed that those pictures are pretty high quality.
Oh, I was going to say, no, they look really good. They're fake. They ripped them.
Scroll down. Then I did a reverse image search.
No. Oh my God. They've been used in, wait, why are so many other places using it?
Quite a bit, actually. I like cropped it so it would fit on the page, but like, there was no shortage, like dozens and dozens of
What
these.
the fuck? And this is not even like a person with a cottage food license. This is a bakery that is like a storefront. So why the fuck?
If you make cupcakes.
Yeah. Why don't you have a cupcake to take a picture of?
Exactly. I'm like, you should probably photograph your own cupcakes. I only looked up that one, but I'm going to guess those other two on that page also are stock photos.
That's insane.
Because look at them. Those cookies in the basket, like,
I know.
Definitely those are stock photos for sure. They did put some that were real cakes that they have made, I believe, on their cakes page. And this is where I said the prices are like, here's one for 60. I think the next one's like 45.
Sorry, the bumblebees look like shit.
I mean, it's not giving.
I'm telling you.
Top tier, best baker.
No, it's literally the only thing they know how to do is semi-smooth buttercream on a cake. They know some piping, so they can do the piping like roses and piping, you know, the little borders and stuff.
Anything that like comes out of like a tool.
Any designs are pure diarrhea on the cake.
Yeah, anything hand-drawn, not so much.
The color of those bees, they're the saddest bees I've ever seen, and bees are so cute. I don't know, where's the black? I feel, anyway, lots of commentary, but that was... Okay.
It's okay. The font is kind of giving happy birthday Trilby.
Yeah, a little bit. But also just like generally it looks a little rushed. Maybe they did it in a time crunch.
The piping on this one is a little lopsided.
They do be slaying the roses though. I'll give them that.
Yeah.
I feel like the roses look good.
That one's $50. And then this one, the sprinkle disbursement, I could not.
They did the opposite of happy birthday Trilby. That was like an overload of sprinkles. This was just like, we ran out. And I hope this works.
Literally, it's like, how do you even, like, they did it, like, along the edges, and then they were like, and, like, 3 in the middle.
I have not seen one example from this bakery, and I'm not blaming her. I know, you know, whatever, you're going to an establishment, you would expect a certain level of something, but I have not seen one cake that I'm like, oh, period. Like, okay, they can do good cakes.
I forgot to put these ones in. This one fucking killed me. This is an actual thing. Like, this was their Instagram being like, you should buy a Valentine's Day cake.
Oh, why is it bleeding?
Do you want to maybe like not mess up?
What? Why is it not finished?
There's multiple mess ups here. Like, what are the little white dots on the like in the middle part? Why is the piping not connected? Why is there red on the piping? Why is it bleeding? Why is there a flower, but it's not centered at all?
And no, that was probably an avant-garde move. But I
Look
think
at the piping
also,
behind it.
No, it's awful. It's an absolutely awful. I mean, if I made
Like,
the cake, I would be like,
ever
babe, look what I made for Valentine's Day. And he'd be like, oh my God, you kind of ate with that. To buy this is criminal. That's a horrible cake. It barely even fits on the little thing that they have it on.
But then you use this as like, you should come to us to get a Valentine's
Yeah, I don't know what this poor lady was looking at that possessed her to buy a cake from this establishment. I'm going to be 100% honest.
Here's another one.
Oh.
I was like, what is the design?
No,
what is the shape? The sprinkles
I get it.
Are
period. I do get it. I like the 2 huevos just right there, sitting there like a perfect little nutsack.
I'm too focused on the sprinkles and why they're kind of like protruding out of the cake.
Some sort of designs similar to that. I think that what's really throwing me off is all the different textures. You know, the side has those
and
stripes.
Colors.
Yes, but also just like they're just doing so many different types of things. And then the bordering isn't like it's inside the cake. It's not on the border. And then also the eggs look like, what is it called? Quail eggs or something. Like it looks like a dinosaur and it's not giving Easter. I imagine this was for Easter.
I assume so. But honestly, who knows?
Damn, people are getting away with this. I might be able to own a bakery.
That's all I'm saying. Dying looking at some of these.
This is giving someone took a Michael's class over the weekend and just threw something together.
This is on their Instagram. It's a video I needed to have us watch.
Oh.
It hits the pillows while they're spinning it. And the pillows are like dirty. I was like, what the fuck is this? It's like, share the love this Valentine's with our irresistible cookie cakes. Okay.
Those poor pillows have been
what's going on
through.
that cake? What are the flowers? Like, what is going on?
I'm telling you, they're very avant-garde. They're very experimental.
Oh my God.
I love that for
them. The fact that it hits the pillows was just
I can't believe they let, and this isn't the first take, obviously, if you look at the fucking pillows.
Well, that's why I was like, maybe we do a take 2 or
and
5.
Maybe just back up the cake a little. Like, that just makes me like really curious as to, I don't know, like the person's, not just cleanliness, just like, do you have any ability to understand spatial awareness or just like what's going wrong?
Well, based on the designs, I'm gonna say no.
I know the sprinkles do be random.
So from there, I was kind of like, what's the
lore
this
here?
Bakery like a thing?
Yeah.
So then I went to their Facebook page.
Well, guys, here we are.
Here we are.
If you have taken a peek at our community post, you know that we had a technical issue and the latter half of this episode got completely corrupted on my end. I don't know what happened. It literally makes 0 sense. Normally that'll happen if like we cut the camera without like letting it, process or whatever.
Like when my power went out, for example, that was why we lost it because it like basically the camera doesn't save the final file, but
none of that happened. I stopped the recording,
we
sat here for a minute, and then turned off the power after I had already stopped recording. So I don't know why, but it just refused to process. It didn't exist, and that was, of course, the longer part of the episode. Anyway,
I did spend several hours trying to
appreciate that, Queen.
recover it, but it was not recoverable. I could get stuff from January, but
literally
yesterday, not so much.
Doesn't make any fucking sense. But what we're gonna do, thank God we didn't lose the cake reactions. That would have been devastating. We still have that.
We did lose the very tail end of it though, because my deep dive was not finished.
Yes, so we'll finish that up now. But all of the like first reactions were still there. So I feel very appreciative of that. And then we lost the entire Ace family topic. So now we have to talk about the Ace family again, which is fine.
Not so appreciative of that.
Yeah, but you know, it is what it is. And yeah, I mean, what else is there to say? I'm here in my jammies and I'm ready to go. Let's do this again.
Apologies for the break. Hopefully you had is it Monday? Hopefully you had a nice weekend.
Yes, and it is Monday because we're getting this up early. Absolutely, okay? Over my dead body, will this be late? Anyway, so back to your deep dive.
Yes. So my deep dive could have ended after I like saw some pictures of the cakes, but naturally I had to keep going. So I went to their Facebook and, you know, not a whole lot going on over there. But May 9th, which is like this month, they said that the Shepherdstown Sweet Shop Bakery was just named the top bakery in West Virginia by the Taste of Home on MSN.com, to which I had a few thoughts.
My first thought was, that still exists? That's amazing.
Yeah,
I used to have an MSN.com like email.
Are we in 2001?
Literally.
Like, that's strange. Further than that, though, I was like, best bakery in West Virginia?
Unlikely.
Is the bar low?
Is there any other bakeries? We have questions.
Yeah. Who else was in the running? Did you have to nominate yourself or what? But so I click on the link and I guess I wasn't that surprised when it said, whoops, this page doesn't exist or can't be found.
Yeah. So I guess I was confused with this on like, so did they lie or did MSN say, just kidding, we got to take you out because we're getting too much heat? Which I don't think is true because this didn't go viral. This story is not viral.
I think they just fucked up the link. Maybe because then I just Googled MSN, which weird. I haven't Googled that ever. And then the best bakery in every state because that's what it says in the URL. There's some ... So I feel like maybe it like abbreviated it, but then like, I don't know, something got fucked up. But so I Googled that and the article does exist. They didn't completely make it up. But then I go to the article and I scroll through because there's the best bakery in every state. So I go to West Virginia and to my surprise, well, actually not really my surprise, they're not the best bakery in West Virginia.
No,
that goes to Spring Hill Pastry Shop.
Interesting. So is this like stolen valor? Like, I'm so confused.
Then I was like, okay, wait, I must have like gotten it wrong. Like they probably do this every year. This is like an article from a different year and like they're the 2025. No, because this article was updated 6 days ago, it said. So I'm very confused.
Wait, updated 6 days ago? Then that does seem like they probably revoked it because of what was going on.
No, because this was only 3 days ago.
Why are they still updating that? I just have so many questions. Who's writing over at MSN? I know it's just one person, but I need to know who they are.
So all of that was a little weird because I was like, I mean, it's not only weird to lie about being like in a list on a website that then you are not in if someone just like went to the link, but also to have it be MSN is just such a weird...
Yeah, lots of random aspects here.
But here's where I found something that I was like, now everything kind of makes sense. Still not really, but a little bit more. I think I clicked on like their tagged posts or something. And I find out that back in August, they had first posted, not they, but someone had posted that apparently the sweet shop was for sale.
Yeah, and then Lily was explaining to me that it's not just for sale, but it's also very bizarrely built. Like it's also a 2-bedroom apartment, I guess.
Yes, I guess the whole building is for sale, but then you buy the sweet shop and it comes with like all of the stuff that you need to make the sweets, except the bakers.
Yeah. I mean, no, I know some places are sold as is, I guess. It's just very interesting.
No, it makes sense because it's like otherwise like you have to lug out all the equipment, like machinery and like sell it else. It makes sense, but it's funny because it says not only is this a huge opportunity for the right person/group, but it's a huge opportunity for Shepherdstown. I would say that I don't think the right person or group found.
Well, so that's my thing about including all of the equipment and stuff. It's like, well, if you just find some rando who's like, fine, I'll open a bakery, I've got extra money, who cares? It makes what we saw make a lot more sense. Because if it doesn't seem like somebody who's particularly passionate about baking made those cakes.
Or, I mean, they might be passionate, but they're just not very skilled. So that was August of 2024. But then in February of this year, it says coming soon to market. And I was like, wasn't it on the market in August? What are you talking about? But But I'm sensing maybe they didn't sell it, or maybe there was like an almost sale or something and it was kind of off the market or like in escrow or something, and then it fell out of escrow because now February it was relisted. That was only a couple months ago. So that would make sense why things have gone downhill.
Oh shit, it's not just a 2-bedroom apartment, it's 2-bedroom, 1-bath apartment rentals producing additional income is like one of the perks of it.
Oh, and just the sweet shop alone is 5,000 square feet. And then there's also 2,000 square feet on the second floor for the apartments. But it's listed for $1.2 million.
Jesus. It is 5,000 square feet though. That is a lot of money. I mean,
yeah, but also it's like back to our point about like, oh, maybe someone just like had some money and bought it. But like, who has like a spare 1.2 million to buy a bakery and some apartments?
Maybe some people, I don't know, a Nepo baby.
I'm sure there are, but it was weird.
Yeah.
But I also think it's interesting because it has like a description of the business and it says, the Sweet Shop, originally established in 1982 as a European style bakery featuring old world style breads and pastries, is a cornerstone business in Shepherdstown. And if you go to their janky ass website, it definitely has that on there that they were like founded in 1982, and I'm like,
do you get to keep saying that just because you bought it?
You switched management, owners, and skill levels.
Yeah, usually when you say that, I feel like the assumption is that the same people, same family, same like it just like feels like it's like a hand-me-down type of situation, not like, okay, who wants it? Like, I feel like that's a little dishonest.
That's what happened. I feel like a lot of it didn't make sense until I saw this, and I was like, well, it's still confusing, but at least gives a little more context to why the quality maybe was like known to be good, and that's why people go there, and then suddenly they're like, oh, what happened?
Well, anyway, that's pretty much CakeGate, right? That's the end of it.
Yeah, I think that brings us to a close.
That was a fun time. I loved it personally. And now, unfortunately, we need to jump to something not so fun, and that is talking about the Ace family again. I feel like I don't really remember. Did people get mad at us for talking about Catherine? I'm not sure, because I see people having a lot of sympathy for her nowadays because of all of this.
Oh, I don't think anyone really had any thoughts on like
Love
our
that.
opinions on it.
No thoughts. I'm just saying that because I see a lot of comments on TikTok and stuff, and a lot of people feel really bad for her. And there are definitely elements of her story where obviously as like a human being, I feel for her. I just find her delivery, her addressing of things, her skirting around certain elements to be so perturbing that I can't like look away from it. And I'm just like, ugh, I still get this feeling of like, no wonder you were with us in the room. Like, you know what I mean? I understand that he's the worst,
but like she also doesn't think that.
No, she doesn't think that.
Like,
that's
she kind of still thinks he's the best.
Yeah, she doesn't think he's the best, but she definitely has a lot of love for him, which I understand, like when it's the father of your children. Although there is, I mean, my mom is proof of that. She will say, my dad was a horrible husband. He's an amazing father. Like that's just the way she's like, he's not a good partner, but he's great at being a parent. And you could say that about someone, but to just like talk about how much they cheated, manipulated you, lied to you, basically didn't give a shit about you enough to even explain anything to you, and then just say that you love him. It's just very confusing.
Yeah. And like also like kind of financially fucked you over as well, or at least just like kept you out of the loop.
Before we get any further, we want to thank our next sponsor, and that's ZocDoc.
If you're unfamiliar, ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors and click instantly to book an appointment. And I definitely have used this before, and it is the best.
Yeah, there was a doctor's appointment that I was putting off for, no joke, 3 to 4 years. And when I tell you, I got the easiest appointment of my life. It was like confirmed, like the doctor knew and called me and said, oh, you booked? Okay, so we're just confirming. And I was like, perfect. I didn't have to call anyone. I didn't have to check what insurances they took. I didn't have to see their available slots because all of that was available right on ZocDoc. So the conversation was minimal. And even if I hadn't picked up, I could have just done a little text message confirmation. So you really don't have to talk to anyone.
It's really great. That's my favorite part because that's usually why I put off appointments, is because I don't want to call. But you get to just search through, put in your insurance, your location, what kind of doctor you want to see, and then you scroll through all of the highly rated doctors and you can just book it right there. It shows their schedule and you usually can get an appointment within 24 to 72 hours, which is great when you have things like dental emergencies where you have a broken tooth. Not that that happened to me.
Right.
So stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/DWKT to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today.
That's ZocDoc.com/DWKT, ZocDoc.com/DWKT.
And thank you so much to ZocDoc for sponsoring this episode. I don't know. My two main criticisms, I would say, because if you didn't know, Catherine went on Call Her Daddy. I feel like we talked about this at a certain point because Austin eventually implies after she does this interview that it was like for money. We immediately were like,
you don't get paid for that.
I don't think they pay their guests.
No, but I would be more understanding if it was just an audience member that assumes that, because a lot of people don't know how things work behind the scenes. But Austin Broom fucking knows. He knows she's not making money off of that, and he's just saying it.
Well, especially situations like that, and like how Alex Cooper, I'm guessing some might be like favors or like personal connections. The majority of her guests are going on because it's like PR opportunities.
Right.
Like they're usually in the middle of like that person is then going on some other shows as well. And this one, I think, really worked out in Alex Cooper's favor because it happens to be during the time when it's like a lot of drama because Austin did that like 30-minute response on Snapchat to Catherine's book. But the thing Catherine's promoting is the book. Coming from Clever, like I remember we would get good interviews sometimes, but it's like if it's a PR opportunity for something that like you don't really want to talk about that, but you have to, it's kind of frustrating. It was perfect because she gets to talk about the book, which is about her life, which is about Austin, which is what everyone wants to hear about anyway.
I wonder almost if he said the money grab thing, which we'll show his responses after we watch just a few portions of Catherine's interview with Alex. I feel like it is very long and there's a lot of stuff we're not going to be able to get to, but we're going to touch on all the parts that we have like something to say something about. But all of that being said, I just like wonder if he means her promoting the book was the cash grab. You know what I mean? Because ultimately it will make her money.
I guess, but like obviously you would promote the book.
Yeah, I feel like it was such a dick comment to make. But anyway, so
he honestly seemed kind of butthurt that he didn't get to go on Call Her Daddy.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, no, 100%. And you know he would have.
But I think generally you get a lot of insight into like their relationship and the cheating and all that stuff. But I would say my two main criticisms of Catherine in this interview is that she gets asked about whether she like basically regrets putting her kids on camera or like if she ever had second thoughts about it. Basically just giving her the chance to be like, yeah, I wish that maybe we didn't put their entire lives on camera. But that is not what she does.
How did you guys decide to do this?
So when he was in college for that last year, I decided to move in with him. I was pregnant for that whole year. And he had a roommate, like someone that was kind of there just to help with that last year of college because he was playing, D1 basketball and he was still going to school. And then, I was pregnant. And so he was kind of just there to like keep tabs and make sure that everything was good.
She's been saying that someone moved in to like keep tabs on things.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
So you had a handler?
Well, like, and also, like, is that normal for college basketball players?
I would say no, but I actually do know that they like really make sure it's like they have someone making sure you are going to class, getting dressed.
Oh my God.
Like that's such a lucrative thing for the school. So like they're definitely making sure that they are set up to succeed.
Interesting.
Said, hey guys, like, you guys should really start a YouTube channel. And he's like, your videos are going viral on Facebook and people are making money off of them. And I'm thinking like, what? Because we would make like cute little homemade videos, of him talking to my belly or just us being funny and goofy or whatever. And he's like, people are taking your videos and monetizing your videos. Why don't you guys make your own videos? And I thought, can we do that? You can make money off your videos? I'm like, what? Like, that's so crazy. And at the time, his dreams were to play in the NBA. And that summer, he got with the wrong agent and he did a couple tryouts. One with the Lakers, one with the Knicks.
Could you imagine Austin McBroom being on the Lakers?
No, I can't. He doesn't have the decorum for NBA.
Yeah, like I feel like I'm sure he wasn't bad if he was like even in that.
I just can't convince myself that he's good at anything. So I need to see the clips. I need to see the proof. I don't know.
He gives short energy for sure.
He just gives like goofy, irresponsible, not good at things, annoying. Any other insults? No, I think I'm done.
No, I think we're good.
What are we gonna do? Like either you go play overseas in Greece or something. We move we go as a family. And
that's crazy.
But nothing is, set in stone. Like we don't know what that looks like. And so then that's when we were like, let's start YouTube.
Back in the beginning, once Elle was born, whose decision was it to make her a part of the content?
It just came naturally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because
both of ours.
I didn't film my birth with Elle. It was like, we were just private, we filmed on our phone, we weren't making a vlog. And I think like it just made sense because we are so hands-on with our child and I was not going to get a nanny. I'm like, I'm going to raise my daughter, I'm finally have my daughter here, and I thought, well, we can make content with our daughter, we can just naturally, organically share our journey.
Did you have any hesitations in the beginning or later on about putting your kids on camera?
Never. And you know why, Alex?
Why?
Because back in the day.
Why, Catherine?
Why does she talk like that?
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. That's enough to send me into a spiral.
I feel like Alex is like giving her kind of room to be like, yeah, like we have some regrets, like, and not make it like, hey, you're exploiting your kids.
So this is one of my main issues with her. There's one thing to be said about the fact that especially, I mean, I used to put my kids online too. I used to update people on Noah. I used to talk about his milestones and things like I thought it was second nature. I'm like, well, I already share my life. Of course, I'm going to share some things about him. I didn't vlog him, you know, if he was injured, I didn't pull out the camera. But yeah, like I would share him from time to time. And yes, I could think there's an argument to be made about things being different, but like to still defend that till this day and not look back on it and say like, obviously, yes, I have regrets that my children now, unbeknownst to them, they had no consent. And even if now they say they like to be in the videos, that's not a thing. They
don't know.
Yeah, they don't know what that actually entails. Like, to say that is so telling to me. This is my biggest issue with the Ace family, with all family vloggers, where it's like, oh, they really don't give a fuck. They got that check. And as enlightened as Catherine wants to say she is, because she's done ayahuasca a million times, she still doesn't get it. Like, and it's so disheartening to me.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that it's not just like when you started, it was like a twofold question. It was like when you started or now, like, have you reconsidered? She could have said when we started, we didn't realize how big it was going to get, blah, blah. But she can't say that because they still fucking do it.
Yep.
So like that would be hypocritical. Then also my big problem is that throughout this interview, she talks several times about how she felt like a monkey in a circus or a clown in a circus, something in a circus. And that like she kind of like lost herself and like it felt like she was always performing. And Alex asked her about like, did Austin do stuff romantically? And like, you didn't know if it was for the camera or if it was real.
You started to not be clear if Austin was doing romantic gestures for you because he was filming it so it would look good for you guys as a couple, or were you like, wait, is he actually doing this romantic gesture and he just happens to be filming?
Oh, totally. Yeah, there was moments where I'm thinking like, I don't know, like you really surprised me, you know, where it's like me kind of having to follow with that like surprise. And then I'm like, I feel like I'm a clown in a circus. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's just like, so if you feel like that, how do you think your children feel? Who literally are so now going to be psychologically fucked up because you have made it so that is all they know. They're probably going to be constantly seeking external validation because they equate views with success. They think that everything is supposed to be
They
for
think that their worth
everyone else
is wrapped up in the opinions of others. And they've grown up with their parents. I mean, we saw this yesterday when we filmed, but it was like they at one point made over 7 figures a month on this. And they understood that, like, you know how like some people say like fast money, it's like a term for like when you do like you get money in drugs or like something like that. There is an element to the internet that's fast money. You know what I mean? Or just like a way that you like know that you're going to make money, but it's not right. Yeah. It doesn't feel right. It's not right for especially not for your fucking kids.
And especially like, I don't think they probably understand the whole scope of everything and how it all fits in. And like maybe, and I'm referring to the kids, not Catherine and Austin, but I'm sure that even if they don't like read comments or anything, I'm sure that they all talk about like if a video did well, that they were like, oh my God, this got this many million views. So if the kids are then going to associate with like all of their milestones have to be filmed and like everything that's like, oh, that would make good content. Like that's so fucked up that your kids are now like, that's all they know. That's
and it's also, I mean, even as seen in that one video they did in the bathroom where they got the intro wrong and they left them like re-recording it. And you just see how normal it is for the children to re-record things and to perform. And they were working.
Hey, Ace family! Welcome back to our channel, guys. What's going on, everybody? Ooh, look at my hair.
No.
Good thing I don't have to. No, I'm gonna say it. Good thing I have to be on camera today.
Okay.
God.
Okay.
My hair looks fucked up. I would not film like this. So just go.
Okay. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Hey, Ace family! Welcome back to our channel.
I mean, from as long as they can remember, they were working. And it makes me super sad because my daughter, like the amount of questions she asks me, and she's so inquisitive about like, why are we doing this thing? Why are we doing that? Kids know, like they absolutely know like what's going on. They may not know why and they may not know the impact of it, but like it sinks in with them and they will realize one day what their parents did to make the money they made.
And I will say, thank God, I mean, assuming this is true, Catherine does say that she like started a bank account early on for Elle and like they have put money aside
bare
supposedly.
minimum.
But then she also talks later about how they were making 7 figures and how Austin would just like have 6 figures missing from their bank account without telling her.
In the book, you write that Austin made a lot of financial decisions without asking you, and that it was so extreme you would check your bank accounts and see 6 figures missing. Where was all the money going?
Yeah, there was moments where, you know, I'd see some money coming out and it was, you know, to pay this, pay that. And it was like, I didn't feel like I was having that like wife, like that partner, that husband and wife conversation about our finances. Mm-hmm. And it would be heartbreaking to look at the bank because I was very well aware of what was in there. And it's like, where did that go? Like, what's happening?
Stuff like that is kind of like, how much money did you put aside though?
Yeah.
Because like, also remember your house got foreclosed on and like what else? Like you also didn't pay all those fighters. I feel like if they had the money set aside, they would have used it.
I don't know, but I hope not. However, regardless, bare minimum for you to do when your children are the reason you're making that money.
Just because they made money off of it, hopefully, doesn't mean that they should have had to work and like have their entire life associated with making content.
YouTube, it's been a thing for a while, but we were really like that, like I hate to say the word, but I feel like we kind of pioneered that.
Yikes.
Like,
what a claim to fame. You walked so Ruby Frankie could
I
run.
literally was thinking, I'm like, so it was you. You're the one who did it. Not something I would want to take credit for, but period.
Or at least if you were taking credit, like stop and then maybe acknowledge that like the family vlogging sphere has gotten extremely toxic, problematic, and like you maybe don't want to be associated with that. But no, it's like we pioneered the space.
We were the first to do it at that magnitude in that way. And it was like when this monster of like social media was starting, you know, sometimes I think back.
Wait. Yeah. When this monster of social media was sharding?
Starting.
No, she didn't say that. Did she?
Yeah.
Run that back and listen for sharding.
I'm like, I guess she does kind of acknowledge that it is toxic now, but I feel like not in a very direct way.
I'm not even worried about any of that anymore. I'm just worried about the fact that she said sharding.
When this monster of like social media was sharding, you know, sometimes I think.
Oh, that is good. I'm going to put that one in my pocket. I liked it. You know what, Latina Queen? You better work. The monster was sharding, okay?
But yeah, so that was my first criticism. And then my second criticism was the fact that she essentially confirms that the quote unquote Miami like boat orgy or whatever did occur. But she says that without acknowledging that what was alleged to have occurred was rape and SA.
Yes. So we've talked about this in pretty much all of the Ace family videos since these allegations came out. Cole Kerrigan, who I think definitely gets a bad rep. I think he did some things for clout in general, and he may have been the wrong messenger. Like, I feel like people took things to another level because of who was the one saying it.
But also the reason that people freaked out is because they said he was a liar.
Yes.
And part of the reason they really leaned into that, I think, is because Catherine said he was a liar and co-signed that.
She did.
Even though now it's coming out that she thought things were weird.
Yeah, so there's a lot of, and this is a really, really big point of contention that I have with Catherine in general. There was so many moments that she defended Austin to the death. A lot of them have been deleted. So I went, when we did our last episode on them, I went on Twitter. And although there's like one where it was right around the allegations where Austin had to like address the allegations in Miami, which if you don't know, the allegations are that him and his father essayed 2 girls. So, I mean, unimaginable allegations. There's only one tweet left up, and it was about a separate situation where like somebody, I guess, had photoshopped a conversation, and Catherine was talking about that. But then she was also saying, like, I don't know what's dumber, the people who are photoshopping things or the people who believe it's real. You're not going to break us ever. Like, it was like a very, and it was literally a day after these allegations came out. But I want it to be known, if you were there, like you remember as well, she was defending him and she was calling these girls and like Cole Kerrigan a fucking liar. And Cole Kerrigan has responded to this, and he remembers as well, obviously, as you remember when you're the one going through it. But like, she was defending Austin to the death.
Yeah, no, that's in Cole's response to this. He says that she basically was saying he's a pathological liar and stuff.
All the while, she wasn't in Miami, and that was my biggest thing with her at the time, where I'm like, you weren't there. What the fuck are you talking about?
But she did get butt dialed and heard that he was with girls.
The first one. Let's go to the first.
So, you know, I don't remember exactly the first moment because I feel like there's just so many.
Horrible.
But,
my God.
There was this one moment. I had just had my daughter, my second daughter. She was about 6 months old or something. And he was like, hey, I have to go to Miami for a meeting. And I go, please. And I'm the type of partner where I love for my partner to feel free. Like, I trust you. Go. You want to go on a trip? You want to go on a boys trip? Whatever you want to do. Go.
I get that.
What meeting are you going to in Miami?
No. Yeah, I was about to say, I totally get that. And I am the same way. Like, my husband, all the time, he'll go to the bar and watch a game with his friends. Do you think I give a shit? You think I think that he's hitting on people? No, go and do your thing. I go to bars and I do my thing. But like,
looking back at it now, like,
no.
Yeah, I'm like, New York? Sure.
You need to go to Kansas? No problem. Miami?
There's no like social media, like brand deal meetings going on in Miami. Like, that didn't happen. I can't imagine he kept it as vague as I have a meeting and that was it.
I don't know, because hearing the way she talks in a lot of this interview, she is super almost aloof. And I do get it. Some people are more chill than others, and I am not a chill person. Nothing about me is chill. I am as not chill as they come.
Not even in the sense that it's like, tell me what you're doing at all times. Like, I need to know. It's more that like their brand is together. So wouldn't she have to know about what the meeting was?
And especially her daughter being 6 months old, to go on a trip, business or not business, like, especially when it's social media, it's like, Zoom exists. Like, there's no need for that.
And also, like, what meeting are you going to that then she's not involved in?
Oh, that's a good point. I think he did a lot of weird side quests, like the boxing thing that, he fucked up on his own. So maybe he was inventing some shit. But also, just in general, she doesn't seem like a person that does ask a lot of questions, and that maybe even when she does suspect something, because she describes like suspecting things. And that's what I find so weird, because like the details of hers, like, and I believe her. I believe that, like, the way she recounts, it does make sense. But it's also just like, girl, you really didn't ask no questions.
Yeah, no, it seemed like she was in extreme denial and, like, didn't want to know. If there was stuff coming up that was, like, pretty clear that he was doing something, it was, like, covering her ears, being like, I didn't hear anything. Yeah.
Like, that's just my personality. Now I look back, I'm thinking, like, I should change some things up a little bit and care a little bit more.
Right.
But at the time, I just had a baby. I was tired. I was filming every day. I had another baby, taking care, changing diapers, breastfeeding. I breastfed all my kids 5 years straight.
That just shows how useless Austin is. Because to me, I would be like, yeah, that's why you need your partner there, no? So they can also do it. She's like, I was doing so much. I just basically, he was bothering me. It's like, so he sucks. I mean, we know that.
Super exhausted, super tired, And so he said, I want to go to Miami. And I said, you go on your trip. And I remember calling my mom, and my mom saying, I would never let my husband leave when my baby's just a couple months old. Like, I don't know, you're different. And I'm thinking, oh, well, I don't know. I was like, I think he deserves it. He's been working so hard. He edits. People don't realize he edited every single video on our channel. We didn't have an editor.
The full 10-minute videos, he did it all by himself? What a big boy.
Also, I'm like, that doesn't surprise me. He needed to make sure that anything that was bad got cut out. So he looked seriously how he wanted to.
So I thought, he deserves to go out. Like, it's okay. He wants to go on a business trip, whatever. I remember that business trip like it was yesterday, that business trip. He called me quite a few times where I felt like, you're calling me a little too much. Like, I was just like, I don't know. Like, it's okay. Go have fun, know? And he pocket dialed me.
Why are you telling him to go have fun on a business meeting?
I was just going to say, she does kind of go back and forth with the whole, like, it was a work trip. It was a business trip. Go have fun. You deserve it.
Actually, the opposite. Don't have fun.
Yeah.
Like, this is not for fun. I think that when both of them tell stories, and I mean, it's not surprising because I personally feel like they have both lied a ton together to protect each other, to protect themselves. They're both a little bit all over the place. Like, if you really pay attention to solid facts that they're giving us, like, it feels more genuine when you're listening to certain parts of her story. Like Austin, it was just like bullshit throughout. But with her, you feel like, okay, I can see how that hurt you and it makes sense. And she like remembers it really clearly. And then other things, I'm like, huh? What are you talking about?
It's like, I feel like on one hand, like maybe we're like being a little nitpicky, but at the same time, I'm like,
as we are.
It is weird though. It's like when I've gone on a business trip, like I'm not going to yacht parties.
No.
Which like, yeah, social media does have some crossover where there's like a lot of social networking kind of situations, but I feel like not when you have a 6-month-old baby and you do your business with your partner and like,
well, the thing is she is very honest, I will say, about the fact that they had horrible communication, and that obviously does appear to be the case. I just like, maybe because I come from a very different situation, that I'm just like, dude, what do you mean you don't really like know what he's doing out there? Like, I get hour to hour updates, and just because that's like what we do. If like my husband takes my son somewhere to the aquarium where we've been a million times, he's sending me pictures. I'm knowing exactly what they're doing when they're coming home. Like, it's just like, stay updated with the person you're married to. I don't know.
And she just said that he like is calling too much and like checking in too much. I'm like, what were you asking him? How's the business? Weren't you being like, what are you doing? Like,
could there be one episode where I don't spill something on myself? Jesus Christ. And of course it's red wine.
That doesn't exist.
It's going to be there the whole episode. So say hello to our friend. Anyway.
Accidentally. And I heard women in the back. There were a couple women. And I thought, okay, well, I guess my husband's hanging out with women. Yeah. I'm thinking, whatever. Hung up the phone, continued my day.
It is kind of giving like, oh, he was so annoying. I was glad he was gone for a week.
No, that's 100% what it's giving, which I mean, period. And I totally get that.
But I would be too, yeah.
And this blonde male makeup artist makes this video on YouTube
so
talking
weird.
about,
like, if you're not going to say his name, why would you even specify
this blonde male makeup artist?
I feel like just say someone made a video, or makeup artist, fine. Blonde?
Very strange.
Very specific. Okay.
And there was this group of people, and there was all these girls, and there was this bow, and all these. And to be honest with you, till this day, I never watched the video. But I have gotten that like information from some good friends who watched it for me and were able to like process it for me and help me process it. And I was pregnant in that moment. And I had to listen to that. And nobody knew I was pregnant. I was having my son. And I remember bawling and thinking, is this true? And even if it's not true, why are people saying this?
What really bothers me about this is that she talks about how one of the first times that she knew that he was actually cheating was with her second daughter when she was getting her first haircut. And there is multiple moments where she's pretty much sure that he's cheating on her. So much so that she's lost track of the amount that he was cheating on her. She doesn't know how many women it was exactly. And she just kept having his kids, bro. Like, why? Why do that? Like, if it's a complete accident, which is like, I guess, I mean, it's not. Well, that's a whole other thing. So she talks about the Virgin Mary thing where like she doesn't have sex with him because that was a big thing where Austin was saying, I cheated on her because she didn't have sex with me. She says, no. I stopped having sex with you because you were cheating on me.
But then she goes on to say that they didn't have sex for 5 years, but then says, but I had 2 kids.
Yeah, I had 2 kids. I'm like, well, there's only one way to make those, baby girl. Like, I don't know what else to tell you.
Also, can we address the elephant in the room if anyone watched our last episode where I did an update and she talked about why would you bring that up?
Why?
I just need to clarify that I was very tired. And basically someone asks, like, why did you stay with him if you knew he was cheating or you thought he was cheating? And she said, because I was pregnant with 2 kids.
2 kids. And you were like, she's never had twins.
That same sentiment that I had there does apply to this situation because she does say that they didn't have sex, but then she had another kid. So it's like, well, you had to at least once.
Right.
But no, she was apparently saying she was pregnant, like pause, and had 2 kids. Because she had 3 kids total. I thought she was like she was pregnant with 2 children. Like she was with
I'll let it be known. I haven't been doing notes lately, okay? So it was all Lily.
Jesse hadn't seen it, but I feel like you would have let it go anyway.
Yeah. Well, that's the type of thing that I would like text you and be like, oh, is this what you meant? You'd be like, oh, okay, if that's the only thing wrong, let's just put it up.
Oh, no, I probably would have left it anyway, but I saw the comments after and I was like, oh, shit, you're stupid.
Yeah, well, you know what? It happens to the best of us, queen. Moving a little bit forward, we'll just like let her finish it because remember that this all stems from, it's not just like him cheating. Those aren't the allegations. The allegations are that he and his father essayed 2 women. So it's interesting to see how she kind of skirts over that, or I don't know what she would call it, but
And like that was why like Cole's whole video on this situation was not just like Austin's cheating on his wife. It was that his friend was one of the girls that got essayed.
This is like so detailed and I believe, I didn't believe the horrors, but it was like, am I just being stupid right now? Like, am I just really not
accurate
sitting with this?
Yeah, correct.
Or do I vindicate him? Do I vindicate our family? And that's what I did.
Yeah, we know.
And I think back at my old self, and I think, poor girl, like, I wish I could hug her today. Like, she was just going through so much.
What about the girls that he essayed with his dad?
Yeah, no, that's actually fucking crazy. I look back. So my thing, and this is just, I'm just trying to use common sense here. I'm not even using my innate nature to believe all victims. I am literally using common fucking sense. This is a man that lied to your face for years. He did not give a shit. He saw you birth 3 of his children. He was there in the room and he didn't care. Okay, he still cheated on you. And there are allegations that come out that confirm that he is lying. And you knew he was lying about what he was doing in Miami because you witnessed it. You heard the butt dial. And you still don't believe those women?
Even if she wanted to not believe it at the time.
How can you not at least think? Now. Like maybe like a doubt in your mind where you can even just throw a fucking bone and say like, I can't say for certain that nothing happened because I don't know.
Well, I'm like, at the very least, I feel like the bare minimum would be to not talk about it now as if that part wasn't true.
Yeah,
or
I
just
don't
like
believe the
over that like it doesn't
like,
exist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like,
why not?
So you just believed he was cheating and then these girls,
based off of what,
they didn't even come forward. They did it for attention. Like what would even be the motive there? They didn't even come out to say it.
Yeah, well, I mean, she did it back then. I'm not surprised that she's still doing it now. I just am surprised that so many people are letting that slide. Because to me personally, that's a fucking, like, that is horrendous. Your husband is a piece of shit who lied to you 1,000,000 times and you are still defending him against SA. I understand if you think like your husband has never lied to you. You have no reason to believe he ever cheated. And someone comes to your door and is like, oh, he R-worded me. For you to be like, whoa, let me think about this. For you to have a conflicted, like, it's a human nature to be like, wait, what? How is that possible? Question it. But now, Catherine, years later, he's a liar. He lied to you. He lies to everyone. Like, and he's a narcissist.
Now, after also you have called those girls liars.
Yeah.
I mean, he called them liars. And then you were like, yep, agreed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then also Cole separately has had a very tumultuous online career because do we know them? Not really, but I did meet him very early on before he moved in with Jake Paul and did the whole Team 10 situation. I randomly got dinner with him and Kelsey Dara because she was bringing him out to dinner because he was going to be in like a BuzzFeed show or something. And that's because he was a really, really, he still is, I'm sure, but very talented makeup artist. And like, I had even followed him before we had gone to dinner, which is weird because like, I don't really follow makeup artists, but like, that was how good it was. He was blowing up on Instagram. He had just done a video with Jeffree Star. So he had his whole career ahead of him. And then things starting with the Jake Paul thing, which I remember vividly at dinner, he said that was why he was in California because he was visiting to go to a meeting with Jake Paul to then join this new Team 10 iteration that he was doing. And I was like, I think that's maybe not the best idea.
Do you know who Jake Paul is? Or
right? No. And this was like even before some of his most problematic stuff. But like
setting fire to mattresses in his swimming pool.
Yeah, that had already happened.
Oh, period. Okay.
So I was like, I know that sounds like something that probably seems like a good opportunity. Like it's a fast track to success when he's already gotten this little taste from Jeffree Star. But I kind of feel like that is a shortcut that is going to then lead you directly off of a cliff.
Yeah.
And that is like
literally what happened.
That is what I said. Sadly, I was correct because
he didn't know you were a witch. Exactly, it's not his fault. He thought you were just some weird YouTuber who was giving him advice unsolicited. Wait, what did he say when you told him that? Did he seem receptive?
Kind of, but like...
He was going to do it.
He was going to go to I don't think he'd gone to the meeting yet. So it was like, well, I mean, he flew me out here. That's like, I'm going to go. I vividly remember saying the words, like, I think that seems like it's going to be something good, but it's actually going to be a shortcut that leads you off of a cliff. He was like, oh yeah, well, I know. We were like, just be careful. And then he joined Team 10 and then he got kicked out of that house. Then he had something with Tana. I think there was a drama.
I remember the Tana
long story short, then it gets to this situation. So he already had some like not great press around him, you could say. After this, I feel like that was when things like really went downhill, and he like developed a really bad drug problem, and he's been very open about this. I'm not like speculating. And he ended up going like completely broke and had to like live with his abusive ex. And like,
I remember he was asking for money on TikTok Live for a while, and then
he ended up scamming people because he would like sell shout outs, but then he wouldn't give the shout outs. And he admits to all of that, and he says that he was in a very dark place, and he's sober now and seems to be doing much better, which is great. But just that, and the girls, who even knows what they are dealing with, because I don't think they ever even came out. Like, I don't know if we know. I do know
that there was a girl, I really struggle, my memory's a little foggy, but I know she was either in the situation or adjacent to the situation. Like, one of her friends was the one involved, and she did say that that didn't happen. I do remember that receipt. It was like a girl coming out and being like, no, that's like, one of them is my friend, and like nothing inappropriate happened, and like it was fine. But
well, also, do you remember that Austin literally paid Cole, and he actually has shown pictures. He handed him like $40,000 in cash to shut the fuck up.
Austin paid me $40,000 pretty much not to go on a podcast to clear my name. His security pulled up the same day with $40,000 in cash, a laptop, and a thick contract for me to sign. And here's proof with the receipts and screenshots. And if you read closely, on this contract, they literally had tweets that I had to tweet out. I was obligated to tweet out, basically apologizing for lying and apologizing to the Ace family. Never made those tweets, by the way, but the damage had been done. I was literally traumatized. It was 2.5 years later. So yes, I took the money. Before you judge me, you probably would too. What else did I have to lose?
Yeah, so there's definitely receipts in Cole Kerrigan's favor as well, but more so, without any of that, I'm just like, what reason do we have to believe Austin McBroom in this situation? Literally.
No, totally. But what I was getting to is more like Catherine's role in it. I'm like,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're not really acknowledging that, like, you were ruining lives
actively.
Like, you weren't just supporting your husband.
You were sending like fans actively to hate on literal victims or alleged victims of SA. Like, it's actually so frustrating to me. And it's like similar to like the thing she did with Shyla, her energy around certain situations. And now she just wants to come on the internet and be like, I got healed. And like, oh yeah, I can acknowledge that Austin was bad in certain situations. Self. Oh honey, like the people who were there during it, remember you right by his side. Very much so.
I don't think she understands the impact that they had on other people.
I don't think so. She does flat out confirm the yacht orgy though, so we'll watch that.
Did you ever get confirmation if the infamous yacht orgy happened?
Yes, I actually did. Yeah.
Oh yeah?
Wow. And that was when he butt dialed you that weekend?
That was that weekend, yeah.
How did you get confirmation?
Through a friend who's married to a guy that was physically there.
Wow.
Yeah. Years later, by the way.
Yeah.
When it didn't matter anymore. It just like, it was like, oh, really? Oh, okay. That's surprising me.
It does matter.
Didn't matter to you?
Yeah. To
maybe. You. Like, are you kidding? That's a crazy thing to say.
I know. Well, there's a lot of things that she says that I'm just like, so this is your healed version? Then I was right about all the assumptions I made about whatever Catherine was 5 years ago.
Yeah, I'm like, she personally is healed, but it seems like she has no consideration for the fucking tornado that she drove through other people's lives.
Literally.
You're like, shit.
I guess it did happen.
Did Austin really bring his mistress to a charity event you guys threw together at the Staples Center?
Yeah, so there was this girl, the girl that I was talking about earlier, the one with the long text, so that was her.
Since that information came to light, Austin has completely denied it, said he would have never brought a girl there, that never happened. Like, what do you say to that?
To me, it's like, why lie about that? But now I know, like, you can lie about a lot of things that aren't true. So I'm like, okay, well, because the thing is that I knew that writing this book, there would be some kind of like retaliation or some things that are said. Yeah. I knew that, you know, something would come from this, obviously, because, you know, I wrote a book. I didn't know what magnitude, that I wasn't aware of, but it's interesting because I saw it and I thought, this is not me, you know, like I'm past that. Mm-hmm. Like, I truly feel like it was a test. Truly. It's like you, Austin, you could have handled that differently. You know, you could have said, see, she has a book out, you know, and one of the things he said is I didn't tell him about the book. But the thing is when you go through a divorce, you don't really tell someone what you're doing. You know what I mean? And I had been promoting the book for 2 years. I've been talking about it. So he had seen it. I think if I would have mentioned the book to him privately, he may have want to try to stop me from doing it. So it was just something I'm just doing me, you know?
Yeah. But anyway, so there's a lot of stuff that they discuss, but I do feel like it does get a little bit repetitive. They're talking a lot about the cheating, a lot about Austin being an asshole.
Yeah. And also that she says he basically like acknowledged the cheating more than once, but he didn't ever seem remorseful. Like, he didn't really ever seem sorry. He was kind of just like, yeah, it happened. And that she, like, every time it came up, and there was several incidents over the years, that her like instant reaction was like, how do we fix this? And it just seemed like she viewed the entire thing much more as like, how do we get back to this perfect family that everyone thinks we are? It seems like she always wanted to just like get back to something that wasn't real to begin with.
For sure. I think that there's a few elements there. She does talk about how her parents were in a very toxic relationship themselves. And so her idea of love and like what she accepted, she does feel like that affected things, which I can totally understand.
Also,
and then
like to be like the opposite of that, she was like, so I in turn was looking for like amazing love and family that she like didn't have, basically, which I can appreciate. But also it seems like she was holding on so much to that she was willing to just like overlook all these huge red flags, and the same red flags that she like when she says that she was finally confronted with like him actually saying it, like she seems very upset and like she's like crying when it's like the concept of her being okay with him cheating. Meanwhile, she just told several stories where like she basically looked the other way and like ignored huge red flags where she did know he was cheating. And just like,
and listen, I understand like when you have children, it is exponentially harder. It's not to take away from anyone going through a similar situation without children, but it just like the nature of it is just way more complicated. Yeah, and you feel like you don't want to lose time with your kids. And you're going to.
The bigger thing here is that makes it complicated, but it gets way messier and way more complicated when you add in the fact that their entire livelihood is tied to them being this perfect family. Yeah. She's not just saying goodbye to her husband or like separating the kids from their father, not separating, but like splitting time between them. Yeah. She's instead being like, shit, well then what am I going to do when my entire identity and my entire financial, like everything she is tied to him. And he just seemed to shit on that. Obviously, I think she thinks this too now, but she like probably should have walked away much sooner.
Yeah, and I understand staying in a million situations. I just can't imagine still looking back now. And that's my main issue with her currently. I think I have issues in the past with Catherine because she never addressed it. And then now seeing her address some of those situations, not even the scams and stuff, but like just some of the situations where she directly was involved in defending him. And like, still not getting it. It's just really, it's disheartening. Like, I don't think I could sit here and have the same reaction that I do see a lot of people on TikTok and stuff happening where it's just like, oh, wow, like that's amazing. Like Austin was, I don't know. I can't have that same moment. I feel very just disappointed, I guess, that she still doesn't acknowledge where she definitely was a problem for many people. And like you said, like literally sent tornadoes into people's lives and shit.
Before we go any further, we have a word from our sponsor, Hers Hair.
Thinning hair is something that nobody wants to deal with. And when you are dealing with it, you don't know where to turn to. You think you have to go to a doctor's office. You have to try to get a prescription or something to figure it out. But Hers Hair makes finding a solution to this so much easier.
Yeah, Hers Hair treatments are great because they are made with doctor-trusted prescription ingredients. They come in a variety of options. They have oral, they have topical, so you can figure out what works best for you.
Yeah, they even have like an option to add on things like hair vitamins and supplements for extra support. But to get started is super easy because it's just a quick online hair quiz and you just answer some questions. You'll be connected with a provider and then you just discuss your personalized treatment plan.
And it's 100% online, something I definitely find helpful. There's no pharmacy trips, no doctor's office visits, and also you don't need insurance because treatments start at just $35 a month.
And the best part is that you can get thicker, fuller, healthier hair and start seeing regrowth in as little as 3 to 6 months.
So start your initial free online visit today at forhers.com/DWKT.
That's forhers.com/DWKT for your personalized hair loss treatment options.
Individual results may vary. Compounded products are not FDA approved or verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan. See website for full details, restrictions, and important safety information.
And thank you so much to Hers Hair for sponsoring this episode.
Well, and even it's weird that she takes the ownership of her not being a good communicator, and like she kind of takes the blame for like some of why he was cheating because
when it
they
comes
weren't
to
having
Austin.
sex. Yeah, and it's like, first of all, I mean, he shouldn't have cheated regardless. Like, I think he's the asshole there. That's something you don't need to own up to. But then you aren't owning up to the stuff that you're acknowledging now. He did stuff that was wrong and that it did occur, and you were saying he didn't do it, even though like you're saying you had an idea that he was doing it. So like,
but anyway, to move on a little bit, there was like several responses after this Call Her Daddy interview, which again, we didn't get to the whole thing, not even close. So if you want to watch it, you can.
Well, real quick, she did, and we don't have to watch this, but she did talk about the ayahuasca, because that was one of my complaints about her responses on Snapchat to Austin's response to her book. So many responses that she didn't even bring up the ayahuasca. And I'm like, that kind of was the main thing people are upset about, because he said that you were like endangering their children. And she gets asked about it, and she says that she never did it, never had any of those ceremonies while the kids were in the house, and made it seem like he definitely exaggerated. And I mean, and I thought he did clearly demonize that entire part of her life and tried to make her look as crazy as possible. Do I think she maybe is indulging a little too much in it? Possibly.
Well, that's the thing. So another thing that she did was a Snapchat story talking about ayahuasca. And she mentions that she is on her she doesn't know exactly the number, but she says, I think it's like 15 or 16.
That's a lot.
And I'm like, girl, that's too many ayahuasca ceremonies.
I've never done
it.
So
unless you're like a shaman.
Yeah.
And it's illegal here. She doesn't really address that. And she also had, I think it was a Snapchat story where she was showing that her friend had given her like a piece of a cactus. And she was like, this is the greatest gift anyone has ever given me. And then when you like look into what it is, it's like a hallucinogenic like cactus. And I'm like, I mean, girl,
whatever. Live your dreams, do your drugs, whatever. I don't really care. As long as you're not endangering the kids and like having a bunch of strangers in the house doing ayahuasca with them.
She does deny that she uses it in the house with them. Does she deny that she wants the kids to do it?
Didn't ask her that, but she just seemed very like he mischaracterized the whole thing.
And I hope that's true.
And it seemed like that was the case at the time.
He's probably taking the fact that she does ayahuasca so much and then like made it into a thing.
Well, and she said that
it wasn't.
Also that she thinks that it was like, he knows how important that part of her life and like her spiritual journey, like how much it means to her, that he just wanted to hurt her to like turn it against her, basically.
I could see that too, to be honest. But anyway, so then, since then, Cole Kerrigan responded. A few people did, but we'll watch Cole's.
This blonde male makeup artist makes this video on YouTube talking about my husband and how he was in Miami and
Hey, it's me, the blonde makeup artist, who has a name, by the way. That's Cole Kerrigan. They said no free clout over here. Now that I woke up to hundreds of tags and a bunch of clips of Catherine, I guess, finally admitting to it all being true and that I never actually lied in the first place about what happened in Miami during the yacht incident. I'm seeing so many comments of people having absolutely no clue what the yacht incident is. And quickly, before I get into what I'm about to say, I have no idea what postpartum depression could feel like, or even imagining the thought of your husband cheating or doing even worse, graping two of my friends with his father while you're pregnant with this child and already have like 2 kids with him. I also don't want to hear shit about anyone saying, oh, stay in your lane, mind your own business, this is her story to tell, which is absolutely true. But I do have a part in it, because Catherine even says in her own words when she's talking about that story that that was the first time, the first real indicator that Austin could have possibly been cheating, or even worse. So really, you're welcome for that. Really happy for her and grateful that she escaped that psychopath. But it's really hard for me to find sympathy for her when she handled that whole situation, saw the hard proof evidence, made a public statement with Austin, calling me a pathological liar, mocking me, my friends, and calling us clout-chasing liars, laughing in our faces. And I had to go to almost 2 years of therapy due to the thousands of hate, death threats that I got in my inbox for years about lying about grape accusations. And that's something I don't fucking play with. That's why the second my friends called me after they locked themselves in the bathroom, hysterically bawling their eyes out, hiding from her ex-husband, his dad, and their bodyguard, I knew from that moment I was going to tell their story on my platform because I had the voice to do it and they didn't. And I almost forgot, for those of you thinking that this is just like word to mouth, the accusations, it's not. I'm so tired of seeing these viral clips titled "Catherine admits to the Miami orgy." It was not an orgy. There was no consent anywhere near that boat. I'm not gonna repost the old video because I don't want that graphic ass shit on my page. It'll be taken down. Y'all can go watch the re-uploaded video on someone else's channel on YouTube. Type in my name and the truth about the Ace family. There's picture proof. I have the friend on the phone with me in the video. Like, it's concrete evidence. It's not assumption. It's not word to mouth. It's not, oh my gosh, that means it's true. He was really in Miami. He cheated. No, he didn't cheat. Him and his dad and their bodyguard locked my friends in a room in a yacht and raped them.
I think it is a lot more sinister now looking at it and how it is being characterized even by Alex from Call Her Daddy, like how she's asking the question and not pressing the essay thing.
Yeah, and I feel like she's doing it because she knows that like
it'll shut her down if she does.
Well, it's like she wouldn't be allowed to ask it otherwise. But yeah, no, I agree. It's like really cheapens the entire situation because if you weren't aware of those accusations, you would have no idea that that was like anything more than just cheating.
Yeah, no, it's all a lot. And again, I think all of that just makes me feel a little bit, it just makes me feel some type of way against Catherine in this interview where it's like, yes, speak your truth, but speak the truth. You know what I mean? Or at least something that feels more genuine than just like...
Have some empathy for some people other than yourself.
Well, that's the thing. She has empathy for herself. I don't even feel in this interview that she had a ton of empathy for her children.
Clearly
it was
not.
Like, I was pregnant with my child, which of course is awful. But like anything that had to do with her children being victimized to certain situations, no.
Cognitive dissonance, had no idea. Yeah, no, it seems like that is the link between her and Austin, why they were like, so, I mean, I don't know if you'd say good together, but like why they were a fit is because they're both just like obsessed with themselves.
Yeah, but the last thing we'll leave you on is Austin reacting to this interview. So he does twice. I think immediately after it was uploaded, he was live with his girlfriend and then he was being asked about it a lot in the chat. And so this is what he said.
Yeah, he's a big
and you guys keep asking about
oh
her podcast that she's about to be on.
Oh my God.
Or you guys keep bringing up
what is that?
Call Her Daddy podcast. Good for her. Good for her. I'm not going to judge anybody on how they make their money. And I got nothing to say about it. Like, good for her.
It's giving jealous.
God, you look so dumb.
What is that hat? It's giving, like, that's very like
you got it at the state fair.
Early 2000s, like you would have flame tattoos.
But this is his, I think, response after he got to think about it a little bit more.
I'm back again, but this time it's a little different. I know a lot of you guys have been waiting for my response to the podcast. And if I'm being honest, I was very close at giving you guys exactly what you wanted. I was getting ready to drop an atomic bomb. You know my little ass ran to Snapchat. I even went as far as getting dressed up and even buying the pink chair.
I can't.
Not the shuffle across the room.
What is that shirt? It's like a tuxedo
What
shirt.
is that room?
Like,
why is it completely barren? My God, there's so many questions. Anyway, he's trying to make a play at like, oh, Call Her Daddy has pink chairs. So I bought the cheapest pink chair.
Wait, but also that's wild that you just pointed out that room. I recognize it because I did remember the deep dive when I was looking into all of his real estate things because he was lying about what house he was getting. That's the house he's been in since then. And there's still like nothing in it.
Well, that's the funny thing is like he's quote unquote rich, but like nothing about him gives rich. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he's just it's so sad.
But I realize that there is nothing in this world.
I know.
When I say nothing, I mean
Is he
nothing.
wearing a vest?
Well, it's like a tuxedo shirt. It's not just a dress shirt. Like, what are you?
Yeah, why is it so thick in this part?
Something affecting my kids. And you guys know me better than anybody. When it comes to my kids, I'm going to pick them first every time.
Unless it's your wife and you said literally, oh, well, I mean, I could overlook the fact that she was doing ayahuasca around them because I care about her more.
Yeah, true.
Whether that was true or not, who knows?
The best thing for me to do is not respond because you guys see what's going on. It would just continue and it would affect my kids. And my kids don't deserve it. Elle called me this morning before school. And she asked me to come over to her mom's house so we can open up all of her birthday gifts together as a family. And obviously, I was unable to do that. That shit broke my heart. And Elle doesn't deserve it.
You're such a good dad.
He doesn't even seem sincere.
I just want to say that I take full accountability on how we got here today.
It's giving he didn't know how to respond because like she didn't lie and everything she said in there was true. So he's just using his daughter as like a scapegoat of why he doesn't have to answer.
Oh, 100%. Well, and I would believe either one of them would do that because I don't think that they are above that. I think that there's several aspects of it that are interesting. I know Catherine mentioned that last week, or I guess now it's like 2 weeks ago, that was the first time she ever heard Austin say like, I cheated. You know what I mean? Like I actually did that. And I understand that she must be going through a huge mindfuck. But again, I'm not happy with any of the adults here. I'm not like, oh my God, this was amazing, slay. Like, because I don't think anyone is beyond, well, some people are beyond redemption, but I don't think Catherine is. Like, I think she could have sat there and been really honest and taken a lot of accountability herself. Yeah. But I don't think that's what she did.
No, she kind of is wishy-washy between like, he was gaslighting me, but then also like, maybe he didn't say the word cheated, but she says that he acknowledged it and that he just didn't seem remorseful. So it's like, I don't know.
But anyway, that's pretty much it. That's where we're at today. And I don't have anything else to say other than I don't want to cover the Ace family for a while.
You? He says like, oh, and it'll just like keep going back and forth if we continue this. Like, yeah, please don't. Please just spare all of us.
No. Let's just all stop.
Yeah.
Right here, right now. I'm fine with that. But anyway, we love the internet.
Yes.
Okay, this is a Brazilian nun that went viral after unexpectedly beatboxing on a Catholic TV channel. And boy, does sister get down or up. Whatever. She's just warming up with a little light footwork. Don't you worry, she's gonna get down. Oh my God, I love it. It says the nuns were invited on the show to speak about vocation when Sister Marizel began to sing and beatbox.
She's like, this is my time to shine.
I kind of love that lore. She's like, it's just completely unexpected for everyone involved. She's like, let me show you something. Thank you.
Well, it's like, it seems like this was a coordinated effort. These two ladies.
Oh no, they've practiced. They've practiced, Queen. Yeah, I love it for them.
They're a duo. Wow, that was great. I have a backup dog one for another time if necessary.
I'm sure you do.
Yep.
I'm sure you have several.
But this one I saw last night. It's so cute.
Update on the injury. Whatever's in Winnie's paw is still in it. So we're going to just dip some more hot water, which we've been doing. I think you're smashing it. I think you're absolutely smashing it, Win.
You are smashing it.
Look at her little leg.
I think it is in the water. I think it might be. Yeah? I'm really sorry about this. It's like being at a spa though, Win. That's what you've got to look at it as. You've got a nice little hot bowl of salt water making you feel good. Just look at it as a positive. I would say we've been sat here for 5 minutes.
So content.
Fantastic work
stop
from Winnie.
Filming me.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. It's so cute.
She's so cute. I love British people. They're so slay.
And I love dachshunds. They're little tiny stubby legs. Anyway.
Well, anyway, guys, we've made it to the end again. I'm going to stop this recording and just go downstairs and let it process for 4 hours before I take my memory card out, just in case. Thoughts?
Fingers fucking crossed.
All the fingers.
Ironically, we were worried about the footage because my new microphone.
Yeah, no.
That was an unforeseen,
I was the problem.
Unforeseen circumstance. Yeah, for once.
Yeah.
As my microphone falls.
Well, anyway, if you guys have made it to the end, we appreciate you very much. You know, it was a treacherous journey, but we made it here nonetheless. And as always, we hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, and we will absolutely see you on Friday. Bye.
I don't know where my drink is, but cheers.